Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jessica, and on my channel we discuss all things connected to healing, growing, and manifesting the life you want. So if that's something you're interested in, you should definitely stick around. I wanted to try to make this short and sweet. I feel like I say that in all my videos and they're all about 10 minutes. I hope that's not too long, but I want to try to keep this short and sweet. In all my content so far, I've been talking about knowing what you want, thinking about what you want, and kind of moving towards getting what you want. And I wanted to talk about as well that it's okay to change what you want. Sometimes in life, when we are moving through things, whatever they may be, we may realize that something we wanted isn't actually what we want anymore, or it was a little bit more of an ego desire, or we were sold something, sold a dream that wasn't actually ours and we really thought it was, and that we might need to change what we want. And I just want to remind everybody that that is okay and that is part of the journey. You're not going to just pick one thing, one life, one way of being and stick to that your whole life and that's how you live life. And I'm sure to anyone that maybe does live a life that way, they're probably not too happy or fulfilled, because if that were happening, that would mean you're not growing. And I'm 39 years old, so what I wanted in my teenage years and in my 20s and in my early 30s is different than now. And that is okay. And that is the way it's supposed to be. And I'm going to want something different in the next 5 and 10 years. And that is also okay. And the reason why it's really okay is if you're checking in with yourself and you've realized, I feel differently, I want this now, that is the more important fact, that you are cultivating a relationship with yourself and you are growing and connecting more to who you are, not what anyone else wanted you to be, who you are. And if you are connecting to who you are and you are growing and changing, so will your desires and your wants. And that's okay. And you're allowed to change it. You're allowed to make career changes. You're allowed to decide, you know what, I thought I wanted this relationship. I actually do not want this relationship. I thought this was it. It's not. This is actually going against what I want. You can decide to change your religion or your spiritual views and grow and go in a different direction. You can decide, that one person that you have in your life that maybe you thought was okay, maybe they're a family member or an ex, you know what, they're not good. I do have to set a boundary with them. They need to stay somewhere else a little bit further away from me. This can spill into anything and it can mean anything. And I just want to remind you that it's okay. It doesn't matter. There was a friend, she's still a friend, but I remember one of my friends got married and it didn't last too long, the marriage. And she came to the conclusion that being married to this guy actually wasn't a good idea. And when we were talking about it, she felt so much shame and what word would I be looking for? Maybe grief, but just I think basically a lot of shame that she married this guy and spent money on a wedding, and people spent money on her and came to the wedding, and maybe some people even flew in, and then she realized this is not the person she actually wants to be with. And even though, I would like you to catch something like that before you get married, it is okay if after you got married, you realized this is not what I want. It is okay. Now, what I also want to say in regards to this is if you are always realizing that this is not what I want, and you're always doing that you could have a bad habit and could be running away from something, and you might want to check in on that. However, it is okay that my friend realized this is not what I wanted, and she did not have to be ashamed for that. You know what? It sucks. It sucks that maybe money and time was wasted, but I would not feel good as her friend if I knew she hated the marriage she was in and hated her life. Because as I've been trying to say to you, you are very important and special. You do not need to think you made a bad decision and you need to suffer with it. Now, I'm going to encourage anyone to really think about what they want. That way, you're not wishy-washy about it, right? Sometimes we just don't have a good enough habit cultivated in understanding what we want, which is why in all my content I'm trying to talk about you really getting to know yourself, have a relationship with yourself, know yourself. That way, when you think about what you want, you can be certain that you're like, I know this is what I want. I feel in alignment with this, or no, I don't. Because you want to be certain. You don't want to be starting relationships with people and then leaving because no, I don't like this, or starting jobs and leave. Like, you don't need to cause a trail of a mess because you're not fully certain what you want. And by the way, even if that's something you've done, that's fine. But that should be along the way to knowing yourself so that you don't continue to do that, because there's no reason to make a mess along the way. But if you do make a mess, that's okay. That's part of figuring this stuff out. But I just wanted to really remind anybody that sometimes we make mistakes, or sometimes we are sold a dream that's not ours. And sometimes this happens more than once, and it can happen a whole bunch of times. And I want you to see any patterns that you need to see, but to remember you're not stuck anywhere. It's okay if you made a wrong choice. And it's not even that it could be wrong. It could just be, you know what, it doesn't serve me anymore. Maybe you really wanted to have a certain job so badly. Then you get it and you realize this is not what I wanted, and it's okay. It's okay. The goal would be in all of this, and even in realizing, oh, that's not what I wanted and I made a mistake about that, or it's an old want, it doesn't really serve me anymore. It's to get you closer to what you want so you can be confident about what you want. So you can really set yourself in your life the direction that you want to go, right? That's the main point and gist about this. I want you to have what you want, and we do make mistakes. And we do jump to conclusions. Sometimes we let our feelings get the best of us. And I want to remind you that's okay. You're allowed to change your mind. You're always allowed to change your mind. I'd be mindful about changing your mind to just escape things. And if you're dabbling, if you're somebody that's an energetic dabbler, you kind of, you jump into things, you jump out. Jump into things, jump out. I would say I would love for you to recognize that pattern if it's something that's happening for you, because even though I would say it's very much okay to back out of something you've started, if you're always doing that, there's a deeper issue there. And because I care about you, I want you to look at that, I don't want you to justify it or think, well, there's very specific reasons why. There could just be a pattern playing out there that it would be in your highest good to take a look at that and see what's going on there. But if that's not the case, if you're just a regular person like me, where sometimes we've went the wrong way, you can always come back from it. You can change. You can go a completely different direction. You can go back to school. You can do anything. You really can do and be anything. I just wanted to remind you that it's okay to go back on something. It's okay to make a mistake, and it's all part of the journey. We have to remember that this is not about being perfect. It's about living our best life while here on earth. There's no reason for our lives to suck. There's no reason for us to hate ourselves or our lives and everything that's happening. We have some control over our lives. And that control is going to come in when you know what you want, because what that control is more about is the direction of your life. You have the power to control the direction of your life. We cannot control how all these things unfold, but we do have a power. And knowing what you want and sometimes making mistakes and course correcting is part of the journey. And we have to be here for this journey because this is part of our life. Don't resist parts of your life. This is part of it. Part of it is making the mistake, getting in the wrong relationship, getting in the wrong job. And you know what? Yeah, we're going to course correct. This is actually not where I want to go. And that's okay. I just want to give you that permission if you didn't know you have it, because, even though it seems like it's nothing, it was really profound for me. When I started my healing and growth journey, I really thought this is just the way life is. I really thought, what life handed to you, deal with it. It's just the way it is. So something even like, say I thought I was stupid and not intelligent. I would think that's just how it is. I'm stupid. I'm not intelligent. Until somebody gave me permission by speaking their good words, that's not true. You can educate yourself. You can read. You can grow. You can learn. You're not stuck. When somebody said it, it gave me permission to realize, oh, I didn't know that I could change what was. I seriously didn't know. And it was really profound for me in that moment to have that person give me permission, because I just didn't, and they didn't actually give me permission, but the reason I'm saying it that way is because I was viewing it one way, and they opened it up for me by saying, no, you can change. You know, you can change. You can have the life you wanted. I didn't even know that was possible until I did. So I want to remind you, the same way that I've been reminded of certain messages in my life, that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to go back on something. It's okay to course correct. It's part of your journey. It's okay. It's really okay. I really want you to know that. And I don't care how bad or how deep of a hole you're in. It's okay. All right? So thank you so much for being here. If you're interested in any of my coaching offers, my email will be in the description below. But, you know, you're doing amazing, even listening to this content. This is you intending to connect with yourself and live your best life. If you're aware of it or not, I want you to know you're so on the right path and you got this. Okay? I love you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.